All right, Leo. There is a lot here. And I'm seeing, like, as usual, multiple layers. And, of course, we have what's on the world stage showing up here as well. But I will hit on that briefly. I mean, it is playing into what's happening, right? So makes sense. But I'm really seeing these cards especially kind of interplaying with each other, right? We've got these colors, and this is your past, right? This Four of Coins, this gaining of stability. And I'm looking at this, we see the box, we see the dark, the light, the dark, right? And did you all get the exponential growth last time? For some reason, I'm feeling like it was you guys that got those boxes. But even here, right, it's like you have this stability, and it's actually really good. I feel like it's laid this foundation, right? Because that was the whole point of this year, right? You've got your foundation. It's been tough. You've had to, and we're still kind of working through it a little bit, I see here. But you've got a solid foundation here. And, I see this play into, because I'm seeing the same colors, right? It's like you can kind of let them flow a little bit more now because you've got that solid foundation. Now you can let them flow, right? It's still there. That solid foundation is there. So you can kind of let some play happen. And because we have these very similar color stories and the wavy energy moving through, I feel like this Mother of Cups that's in the earth element, right, is really connected with spirit, right? You're really flowing with spirit. You're feeling the collective, right? I am one with God. I am one with you. We are all one, that kind of thing happening. But it's like, you all got this before because of the dance, right? And though I don't see quite as much dancing, I do see action. Or this, it's kind of, it's a movement more than action. You all got this card before, though. That's interesting. So I definitely see, and it's like, it's helped you build up this, protection. You're protecting yourself from outside energies. And I mean, like, you can feel them, right? This is Mars in Leo. And we see the tiger, jumping upwards and this surge of energy upwards. And he's crouched like he's ready to, this is even turning into a paw here, right? Hopefully you can see that. So I'm definitely, getting the sense of you preparing for action, thinking about the action that you're going to take, protecting yourself from outside energies, right? Keeping that, holding your ground, but ready to spring into action. And that, these are tempering each other. I love the interplay of energy here, right? Air feeds fire. This is the air element. Earth and water work really well together, right? They intermingle. So, and then these are just tempering each other. There's this beautiful balance that's happening here. So yeah, I just feel like you're connected to the collective, but you've learned enough, you've grounded yourself enough, you've prepared yourself enough that you're able to block the energy, you know, you're not taking them on. You're fired up, really. And then in the center here, we have the intellect and the emperor. And once again, that Mars, you know, Mars has been in Aries. This is Aries. This is Mars energy. But in this picture, you can see there's a man and a woman. There are two figures here. And we see this, yes, look at this. The same kind of tapestry happening here. Because we have the lovers here as well. And there is this tapestry happening on this snake as well. And over here. Right? So that's kind of a repeating pattern here. And I do see this as, you know, especially with the world above the emperor here with this information. I kind of see this as you kind of watching all that's playing out in the world in a detached kind of way, right? It's like you're just watching, you're feeling, you know, we see this volcano here, and it's kind of like the collective cloud and the energy that's kind of, you know, pulsating throughout everything. And the emperor, you know, is the president, right? And this is justice. This is President Trump is a Gemini. So the fact that all of the, you know, so there's some justice coming here, right? Whether that's good or bad for him, I do not know. I don't want to make, right? It's like just watching, right? Just watching to see what's happening. Decision as well, right? On the world stage. But I do feel like this loss that's up here with the world, right? It's like something that we've all created as the collective, right? This I just keep seeing this as that collective energy and the loss that the collective is feeling, you know. But the fact, you know, this is Frankenstein, right? This Frankenstein, this perversion, yeah, was created by the collective, right? We did it. And now there are those who are mourning it. Just thought I'd point that out. That's all I'm going to say on that. So back to your life. But this is, you know, you are, you know, kind of watching what's going on. It is affecting you. So, you know, I just had to say that. But once again, you know, this is like creative thinking. Possibly a business plan, right? She's wearing something like a business suit here. Well, she is wearing a business suit. The emperor is often the owner of a business. So this could be like the planning of a business venture, something on the world stage, right? This is, Frankenstein was a creation. It was but I do feel like this has a lot to do with love as well, right? And perhaps looking at things, you know, this the volcano can be desire, right? The emperor can be about desire. And this is like, you know, getting rid of the, you know, closing out these old cycles, right? We see this like dinosaur bones up here. And by doing so, by like, you know, putting all of this to rest, you know, we see him, it's like I see him as like a surfer, right? This is a wave and just kind of surfing right through it. And there's this feeling of You know, being at the center, right? He's very centered once again, right? We see this like circle, the center, and that centeredness, that groundedness is really carrying you through once again. And also ancestors, like ancestors carrying you through this. Yeah, and I do feel like this karmic, right, closing out karmic cycles. I see this as like, you know, that tapestry of life here. And this is Ma'at. And it's like there's this light that's being shown that she's, you know, shining on. And it's almost like I get this sense of like sand drifting down, kind of like the writing of new chapters in the history of your life, right? Closing out this one, those old ghosts, finally putting them to rest. And, you know, that closes out this karmic cycle and opens up new ventures. I mean, Libra, you know, justice is the sign of Libra. And it is about relationships. You know, we have balance in the, you know, the lovers. Yes, it's about decision. It's about balance, but it's also about love. You know, and we see like these two sides. We see the dark and the light, right? And Johnny Cash is heaven or hell, right? Which one? Which one? We see the light and the dark, right? There's this balance going on. The light and the dark. It's both, right? We're saying goodbye to one world and hello to a new world. There's definitely this feeling of some kind of new romantic cycle, right? This new love coming in. You know, and of course the snake is here, that shedding of the past that's happening to make way for the new. Two parts of the same whole. This is a soulmate, right? Soulmate. This is major. I mean, we have 4 major arcana touching each other here. In your subconscious. And yeah, I mean, look at this. Yeah. Because under the 9 of Cups is the Empress. You know, and this is like, yeah, I mean, like, we know, but I mean, it is the womb of the earth, right? This is like, you know, a new creation coming into being. There are, you know, there is this, wow, okay. God. You know, the devil is underneath that, right? There's still a bit of shadow that is, you know, being worked through during this time period. And this is your purpose, right? You are consciously doing this. And then it's the sun, right? I mean, God, just look at that beautiful sun energy. I love this sun card. And do you see the couple? And there's that tapestry encircling them. That's beautiful. And the Ace of Feathers is underneath that, right? This truth. Beautiful, beautiful truth. This Justice card. All right. So subconsciously, yeah, it's like, yes, there's this protection here, and it's good. You know, I do, because these are our thoughts. But it's like, you know, I see this figure here, and she's, you know, doing karate, you know, it's some kind of judo kind of thing with this dragon, right? And it's like you're ready to break out. And then once it, you know, this feather here, right? That truth. You know your truth. You have this desire. You want to break out And we are during this cycle. There's this preparation to, because in the future here, we have the Eight of Flames. And I love this beautiful rainbow energy all across the top there. And he's pointing, we see this leopard looking towards the future. He's pointing towards the past, right? It goes right towards here, right? Right between the Lovers and Justice to the Emperor. So yeah, I think your subconscious is like alive. It's breaking free of it. It's protecting itself in the ways that it needs to be protected, but breaking free in all the right ways. This is beautiful energy, guys. Loving it. There is a lot of air energy here. But this is this is kind of working through those fears, working through the karma, working through the choices, right? It's because we have this Eight of Flames here where we're taking action, where things start flowing freely because we've done the work here. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, like, this inspiration card reminds me of this, right? This looking at sunset, staying present is definitely like part of this message. Just watching, kind of being the witness. Yes, using the mind, using the intellect, but yeah, because we've got the same thing here. Air to fire, which is actively working through problems, taking control, and it's like very calm, collected, balanced energy. Really, really, really nice. All right, let's get a piece of, yeah. I was going to look and see if there was anything that I needed to look at here, but I don't really feel like there's anything else that needs to be added. I've already said a lot. But yeah, this love, right? Because we've got this Mother of Cups, this compassionate love. This is what's going to help you, move past any of your blocks, right? To make this decision. To move from the heart. Beautiful. Okay. For Leo, 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 Leo. Okay. To left. Ooh, there's a lot here. The journey of the Magi. Interesting. Cancer just got the adoration of the Magi. And this is about, I think anyway, in the other one, it was about the three Magi that go to see Christ. Not necessarily. But opulence, I'm getting opulence. And of course over here we have, interesting, we have this death figure, right? It's like the burial of Count Orgaz. Interesting. Right? This old way, this is that dark, right? The darkness is your friend. Let this darkness descend in order to make way for the new. But this is the new, right? This is like so rich, right? It's like this journey, this collective journey. And spirit being here, right? This is very religious, spiritual. Yeah, this is El Greco. Once again, you know, what a master. Keeping the things from the past also that are useful and, right? It's like we're bringing from the past those things that need to be held on to and letting go of all that, you know, it's ready to go.